Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Good afternoon. Okay, this is the last day of event, and this is the last session. And I think it's a good sign because prima donnas go to stage last one. So I think we are the best ones. So we are chosen. Okay, let me introduce our speakers today. I think we have Gheorghe Cristescu from Polski holding Hotelowy. Is that correct, George?
Yes, it is. Hi. Hi to everyone.
Hi. Welcome. How are you?
Thank you. Very good. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you. And we have Özkan Alkan from Hilton. Hello, Özkan.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon.
Welcome. And Deepak Ohri from Lebua Hotels. Is that correct?
Yeah, perfect. Hi.
Hi, Deepak.
I'm a bit late here, and I just had finished my wine dinner, so I'm a little bit.
Enjoy. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
So is it okay, George? I'd like to start with you because we have limited time. And then I'd like to hear your expectations with the post-coronavirus accommodation industry.
Yeah, I'm glad that we can talk today about the post-corona when we keep in the corona time. I do believe that many things are going to change after the vaccine is going to be present in our markets. I know that UK is going to start in a couple of days with the vaccine, and concerning Poland, we are planning to do that, I think, February, March. Mm-hmm. So I do believe that once this vaccine is going to do the job, we are going to start somehow to recover. I don't think that 2021 is going to be one of the best years for industry, but I do believe that in the second part of the year we should start recovering. In Poland and in majority of the Europe countries, 2019 was one of the best year for hotel business and for tourist business, and also the beginning of 2019 was very good. We say that in the first 2 months of this year they were very good, but then the tsunami came, yes, and we are feeling very strong this situation in our markets. In generally, we had till last year like 80% occupancy in the majority of the destination and the business and also leisure. And year after year, the average room rate also was increasing, which is not the case today when we are on 10-20% occupancy. And I don't think it's only about Poland, but about Europe and about other countries. But anyhow, like our colleagues, they were saying before, with some support from the governments in our country, most of us, we were able to survive and to be a little bit more optimistic for the next months to come. What we are missing here in Europe, we are missing the contribution from the European Parliament, from the European Union. I do believe that these people, instead to do kind of things which all of us, we know from the beginning, some stories from Brussels, from the beginning of this year, of this week, I do believe that they should be more concentrated in working and creating kind of scenarios for next coming years in this kind of situation, to have a cooperation between countries and to come up with something which is good for everybody, because we see now the situation with the winter holidays. Every country is going to play their own game, and we are going to lose everybody. It's supposed to be a clear view from the European community how we're supposed to act, how we're supposed to treat the winter holidays, and not to compete to each other and be one smarter than other. So I do believe in the future this is crucial, to cooperate with each other and for the European community to understand how the tourism and hotel business, how important it is for Europe. And I do believe that in these months we have, in the past, in 2019, they should be able to understand how important we are for the European business. And well, when the vaccine is going to start working, I hope that the corporate segment is going to move, but because without the decision from the big companies, from big corporates, in giving the okay for the people to travel and to organize meetings, organize events, we are not going to succeed. But in the same time, we have the leisure market, which for Poland, like for your countries also is very important, which in the summer was working quite well. And I do believe that that in the next summer for us, which means June, July, August, is going to be even better. And I think it's going to be the first segment to grow, because we'll have the vaccine in the first quarter of 2021. But beside that, we have a very strong program created by our government in terms of holiday vouchers. And they implement this in August this year. And they put in the market like almost 4 billion zloty, which is like 1 billion euro for the Polish families to use these vouchers for holidays in Poland. So this product was working for 2 months. Even my company, I can disclose you, we have done like 1 million zloty with these vouchers, bring us like 4,000 room nights. And now this program is not working because we have kind of freezing for leisure business in Poland. But I do believe that it is going to be crucial for our next summer.
I see. Thank you very much. And I know you are in charge of some real estate business for the state. Am I right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Today I'm in Renaissance Marriott in one of our major hotels in Warsaw, 225 rooms. So hello from the top of the airport.
Okay. Even though you do run business for the state, what are your thoughts about investors' view of the future potential of the real estate investment for the hotels?
I see the prices, they were not going down, but the Polish investors, they are not strong enough to be able to go there for shopping. And we see funds, international funds going around Polish investors and trying to find the good deals for them, which is natural. And what we can do, this is the situation we have. You know very well, Poland, it's a post-communist country. We were not able in 20, 30 years to be that strong like some other financial institutions around the world. So I do believe that in next coming months, we will have some acquisitions in the Polish market, but made mainly by international funds. Our company also now we are working in some acquisitions. We believe that we'll be able to do some acquisition for around over, let's say, 200 million zloty, which is like more or less 50 million euro. But from the Polish side, I think we are just our company on this stage to do these kind of things. And I don't know about any other cases from the Polish investors.
I see. Okay, thank you. Özkan, I'd like to continue with you if it's okay with you. And can you tell us what hotel technologies trends will drive the change for post-COVID-19? And do you think what focus will have guests about these technologies or employee-wise?
Thank you, Hakan. Just prior to answering the question, I think we owe a special thanks to the audience, both listeners and delegates. Since the first day of the summit, they have been waiting for the session. Probably we are having the disadvantage of being at the last session. Thank you so much for being so patient. And for the question, I wish I could say something significantly different than the other speakers. Unfortunately, we have been waiting the vaccine for a long time. And during this time, the coronavirus epidemic, which affected the whole world, unfortunately changed the basic feelings of the people, such as the trust, survival, and the caution. And of course, these negative changes in emotional habits will bring different expectations from the hoteliers. And one thing is very sure, one thing is very crucial, which is the people have expanded their security environment widely. In a different meaning, they wanted to expand their comfort zone because it will take a long time, and we need more larger space to move. We can say that this process also developed the understanding of contactless shopping, and developed the understanding and reliability of digital services, and the expectations of the guests moving towards this direction. And as Maslak, I can tell you that we strive to work as much as we can, as diligent as we can, to meet these expectations from the customers. As all of you know, since the first day of coronavirus, the meetings and organizations have been turned into online all over the world. And also, of course, we have to follow up every innovation in the world and continue bringing further technological equipment suitable for online calls in our venues,
I think we have lost Özkan.
Technology. We were talking about technology.
Technology, and this is technology. Sorry about that. Okay. Deepak, do you mind we continue with you?
Sure, definitely. Thank you very much, Mr. Oral. First of all, good evening to everyone. Thanks to Mr. Oral and my fellow panelists, Mr. Marian and Mr. Özkan, who we lost, but will be joining us soon.
Hopefully, yes.
Yes. I have a very different view to this whole situation. I do agree with everyone and everything what they are saying, but the situation is not what it looks like. First of all, before I start, there are two kind of forecasters in the world, as per a famous economist. Those who don't know, they are number one. The second forecasters are those who don't know, they don't know. And our business, hospitality, which is an asset management business, is based a little bit on forecasting. That is point number one.
That is right.
Fundamental. Second fundamental is the whole hospitality business all over the world, whether it is single unit, whether it is regional players, or whether it is global players, are based on baby boomers. And the new generation is millennials, though their spending is small, but that is what the next phase of growth is. That is point number two. These are two facts. The third fact is, before I give my opinion, I want to put three facts on the table. The third fact is that we are talking about recovery after the vaccine. But one major thing we are not talking about or thinking about is rusty pilots. Today, more than 60% of the worldwide pilots are not in a position to fly the aircraft because they are not doing their stipulated in a month. If we read the latest FAA report about Pakistan International Airlines plane crash, it was not because of the technical failure, it was because of the negligence or the inexperience of the pilot, which is already been published and it is on Bloomberg. So these are three facts. So when we look at these three facts, now we come to vaccine. Now, if the vaccine, let's say 60%, let's take the most optimistic scenario, 60% of the world population is vaccinated by June 2021. The business is not coming back until 2024.
You mean the recovery before the coronavirus?
No, okay, that I don't know what is the word recovery means. I'm saying the business of 2019 will not come back until 2024.
We agree on that. We agree on that.
Thank you. For me today and my business today, the recovery is break even, meaning no cash loss. I'm very happy that if our business is able to do no cash loss, I'm sorry, I'm being candid. I'm not like other people or the companies which are asset light, which will say there's nothing, there's no problem, invest with us, take our management brands, because they are not carrying the balance sheet. They don't care because somebody else is carrying the balance sheet and they're just only managing it. Now, two major changes that will happen in the hospitality industry is the major investors, 60% of major hospitality owners are private equity plays, 60% worldwide. They're going to change. There will be no more management fees. It will be called alignment fees, meaning the owners should be aligned with the management companies. Number two, there will not be any incentive fees on GOPs. Nothing called GOP will exist. It will go to EBITDA level. We are talking about bottom line. And if you want, give me a bottom line and take a fee on that. So there will be a huge shift towards the management companies. Now, like any country, what is going to happen, which is, though I have said there are two kinds of forecaster, forgive me, I'm forecasting. I don't know which one I am, those who don't know, or those who don't know, they don't know. I think I'm the second type. Okay, I don't know that I don't know. But still saying that, what I believe is what is going to happen is there'll be a lot of regional plays coming in. There'll be a lot of single unit chains coming in. Luxury is there going to stay because when there are limited flights taking, mass tourism is out. The countries which are dependent on mass tourism, they have to reboot. The hospitalities which was working on the corporate business has to reboot. The hotels which were 100% dependent on leisure has to reboot, meaning everything is changed. That's my first view. Please. Now I want to give it to Mr. Alkan, who we lost in the connection.
Thank you, Deepak. We continue with you. Özkan, let's continue with you. You were cut off.
Hakan Bey, do we continue with the same question? I don't know.
No, okay. If you finish, I can ask you the next question.
I don't know until which part it has been heard.
I mean, we heard all this part. This technology is important, security, safety. You're talking about that?
I was talking about the future transit probably, and we were talking about the digital check-ins and etc. Right?
Yes, you mentioned that. Yes.
Okay. Let me complete with this one. So I was talking about the programs which the hotels created, such as Hilton Event Ready, for example, such type of hybrid meetings, and that will be trending now. Even the vaccine will be in use. That will be still valid in the world. That's going to be the new technological habit for the people, for the travelers, for the business people. For example, the digital check-in application, that will be trendy too, because with the digital switch, the guests will minimize the contact. If they download the QR code to their telephones, to smartphones, they will have the chance of contactless room key. They will have the chance to access to spas and other activities. And plus, they will have the contactless menus for food and beverage amenities. So, what else we can see? Also, it will be according to the expectation of the guests as well. We know that now the satisfaction, but guest satisfaction does not have a top priority only if we just shape it according to the service level, because now the sanitary hygiene became much more important since it is crucial for the health.
Yes, and I think also we need government support on that, this contactless check-in and all other new technologies to be implemented, because there are some restrictions. They're still forcing us to touch papers and pens and passport of the guests, and I'm sure you agree with me on that.
I hope we will make some additional steps. We discussed that with SCO, with our tourism society. We discussed that, and I think we will have the chance to overcome these restrictions. In some countries in Europe and America, they have the chance for the digital check-in, but still we have to show the identification card upon check-in. I'm not talking about the current pandemic, because in addition to that, we have to show our health situation as well. As you know, it is coded now, and we have to prove that we are healthy person when we approach the reception desk. But in the future, that's going to be a kind of must, because almost everybody's IDs will be restored, and there will not be a difficulty for the digital check-ins in the future.
I see. And with the coronavirus, well, we see lots of people, they choose to stay in extended stay hotels, like more like apartment hotels with service hotels in around this country. Do you think this trend will continue, or it will be a wave of this new trend to open new service apartments or extended stays apartments or resorts? What do you think?
Yeah, first of all, it is not possible to predict from today if the COVID-19 will lead to a continuous shutdown. Okay. However, the pandemic is not progressing well. Thanks to God that nowadays we are talking about the vaccine nowadays. And we all believe that, everyone in the sector believe that the virus will slow down from now on, and the measures will be taken accordingly. Of course, there will be long-term stays, there will be some people who stays in extended stay areas and the hotels and the resorts maybe, but I think it will not change our trend. It will be just subject to the segmentations we are going to have. Nowadays, the people coming from the leisure segment is mainly from the long-term guests.
I see. Thank you. Mr. Deepak, I have one more question. What will be the future of hotel industry? And you think everything will remain the same?
Okay, now my personal opinion is nothing studied. It's actually my personal opinion. I can be completely wrong. I think the hospitality industry is going to change 180 degrees. Not about regional players or large players or small players. That is what I've spoken before. How it is going to change is because the foundation is changing. The ground is shifting as we are talking. And by the time we come back, the ground has already shifted. So where the change is going to take place is by the time we come back, people are looking for something different. The hotels have to change. Now, I've been to Istanbul for me, and that was my first visit to Istanbul 2 years back, or maybe 1.5 years back. And I'm not saying because of this forum. I think that was one of the best countries I ever visited. I fell in love with that. I liked the Bosphorus until I fainted when I asked, can I buy the villa? And they told me the price. I realized I cannot buy it ever. So, but the reality is all these beautiful destinations will have beautiful people coming there, and they're looking for fun and celebration. Now, how many hotels in the world today are able to combine these two things? Point number one. Point number two, how many hotels, and forgive my saying, I've been to all the hotels, almost all the top hotels in Istanbul. I think everybody is going to kill me. Tell me one hotel where I can go for a dinner and I can say I enjoyed the dinner. And that is not only Istanbul, that is the part in most of the countries all over the world. Because when it comes to food and beverage, it is outsourced, too small to manage by hotel GMs, too small to manage by hotel management companies. That is what the new generation is looking at. Now, the third thing, which is very important, but before I make the third most important statement, I want to say something where I think everyone will hate me, but I am born hotelier. And I am a professional hotelier also, both ways. So I'm not against the hoteliers. But I have to say with a deep sorrow that we in the hospitality industry never innovated, never improvised. The RevPAR we talk about, we took it from the airlines. The TV we talk about in the hotel rooms, we took it from airlines. The toilet inside the aircraft and the toilet inside the hotel room is taken from the airlines. We never innovate. I think now today, the hospitality industry is looking for the player which can combine fun and celebration, which can innovate, which can improvise, and cater to the new generation.
I see. Thank you. And what were your observations this year towards guest and employee behaviors with the coronavirus? And you think it will be the same or different in 2021?
Okay, for employees, I can say very proudly, but saying that, I'm not criticizing anyone else. As an organization, as Lebua, we never terminated any employee's employment.
That's very good.
In India and in Thailand. Okay, what was your first question? So this is about the employees. So employee behavior is very motivating.
Or the guest behavior?
The guest behavior has changed completely because the guests have changed.
That's true.
Okay, the guest has changed. So the guest behavior has changed completely. Now, we cannot say the guest behavior has changed. I think this is the new guest whose behavior we need to understand rightfully.
Agree.
Okay, now in 2019, the focus was on social media. I think there's one brand, if most of the luxury hoteliers will follow that, we all will come out of it together. That is Hermes. Hermes has got 9 to 10 million IG followers. Gucci has got 40 million IG followers. Hermes EBITDA is 400% higher than Gucci. I think we should be looking at the guest who's the end consumer. Right now, we are looking at the guest who is the Instagrammable consumer. That's the shift that will take place. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, George, I have one more question for you. Actually, not last one, but one more. And what do you think will be the future for hospitality industry and service and experience apartments? There will be more investment about those sectors or not?
Well, for sure there are going to be changes, and some of the things that were implemented this year concerning the security, hygienic, also standards are going to stay with us. And I agree with a lot of things, but on the top, I do believe that our guests, they are going to look for, not for, on the first place, it's not going to be fun and so on, it's going to be the security. People in leisure, but also in business, they will look for security. And I do believe that the big players, the corporate one, like IBM and other companies, at first and the top of the list when they will choose the hotel, they will choose the hotel which they will give to their employees security. And this is security is going to be the first. I'm also a parent, and when I will take my my family to holidays, first of all, I will look for security. And this is on the first place. And then it's going to be fun and sexy and these kind of things about the product. Yes. And I do believe that this is going to be changed, and the hygienic standards that are going to stay with us. One good thing about for our business is good about humanity. It is about that is good that we have a very short memories. So you look back to everything what happened in the last years. We are able to forget very fast. And this is good for us, for our business, because even today in Poland, even if the hotels for leisure, they are closed, and this is very funny from our side. The hotels in the mountains this weekend, they were fully booked. And everybody was proving in the reception that they are traveling there for the business purpose, because they are doing sessions of Instagram in the mountains with their kids. So people, they have creativity, and even the government is saying you don't go, you cannot travel, but they are traveling even in this situation, which for them it doesn't mean that in the future everything is going to change. No, they will travel, but they will look for security, and security is going to stay with us. We are going to recover, but like my colleagues he said before, the recovering in 2001, 2002, 2003 is not going to bring us to the level of 2019. And I agree with everybody that the 2024, more or less, we as hoteliers, but also the airplane companies, they are thinking that we are going to get there, but nobody is able to see what is happening, because a lot of my colleagues a few months ago, they were telling a lot of stories about how we are going to make money in 2-3 months, in 6 months, and nothing happened like that. So it's very, very hard we are doing our budgets today. Some of us, we finish with the budgets. It's a big challenge. We didn't have these kind of things in this business only 25 years, but for the first time when I cannot push that much my managers to create a budget in which we really believe in. If this year we think we were talking about, I don't want to talk about EBITDA because I will cry. So better not to cry today.
But join the club.
To say occupancy, we are fighting to get 30% occupancy. Okay, next year maybe we'll go to 40, 45, and then. But if we are talking about EBITDA and so on, I'm just crying. I hope you don't want me to see crying today, just to be happy because we are finishing also this great event. And I would like to say to give a big applause to you and to say thank you, because I think it's the biggest event for our industry we had this year.
No, thank you very much.
And we lost our colleague again.
Yes, he's gone again. Just talking about technology, and this is what happens to you.
I hope it's not because of me, huh?
Yeah. Actually, you all of you partly answered during your talking, but I will ask you one last question for everybody, same question. I want to hear your perspective about the hotel industry for 2021. I know the recovery will come 2024, full recovery, yes, we know that. But we'll see better light in 2021. It's going to be much better than 2020.
I do believe that we cannot have a worse year than 2020. I don't believe that. I think we are also the heroes of our days. And I do believe that all of us will be in the history of hospitality because we survived the worst year of hospitality. And hopefully. I cannot believe, this time I'm sure. We cannot go worse than that. So I do believe 2021 is going to be better, but we have a long way to get there where we were in 2019. And I want to give the floor to my colleague because I like to hear him. He has a lot of point of view which are so different than from this part of the world.
True.
So I'm glad to hear him, and I'm ready to listen.
Thank you.
My point of view is exactly the same as you. Fortunately, we are sinking here, and along with Mr. Oral, I think we saw the bottom in 2020. 2021, hopefully, not everyone, but most of us will see the break-even level at the bottom line. 2022 will be a little bit better. But the whole thing, what I'm a little bit worried about, which I want to add is, I don't know how many of us has strong balance sheets. And how many countries the central bank will keep on supporting the organizations. These two things will charter the way how the hospitality industry will look in 2024. But individual performances will definitely improve as of 2020. That's what I have to say. If you ask me personally, what I want to do, I wish I am on the other side of the fence in 2021 and be a fund manager who has a compassion and save some of my fellow hoteliers.
I understand. Okay, Özkan, sorry, are you done, Deepak?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. So what are your thoughts about this 2021, Özkan?
Happy to be back. In order to make a prediction about 2021, I think we should go back and talk about 2020 figures. And we all know that this is the most unprecedented year in the last 80 years. In all EMEA region by region, there might be such type of crisis, but probably since the World War II, this is the hardest period in the region. And then when we talk about 2020, up to July 20, we had very reduced demand. It was approximately 65% reduction in comparison to 2019. By July and August, we covered a bit, and we had just 45% reduction on demand. That made us happy because in these slow times, at least we had the chance to catch up our, not EBITDA, GOP at least. We succeeded to catch up. And by the end of, when we look at year-to-date figure, I think there will be 55% demand reduction in comparison to 2019. And while predicting in 2021, I think we should remember the importance of the tourism industry. For example, for Turkey, in 2019, the direct effect of tourism industry was $37.5 billion to the gross national product, GNP. And by the forecast, at the end of 2020, it will be approximately just $15 billion. So for economies like Turkey, we can understand how important it is to close the gap as deficit of the budget, annual budget. While predicting 2021, the people are guessing it will cover up. We will start to cover up, but it will be around something $20 billion at the end of 2021. By the best scenario, by optimistic scenario, it will be maximum $27 billion, the direct effect of tourism industry. So I believe the occupancy will start to ramping up by the second quarter of 2021. And if you ask how we are going to catch up 2019 figures, I think it will be third year. I think 2022 will be much more happy year in comparison to 2020. Of course, after the vaccine, now we are much more hopeful, and I think we should be much more optimistic to catch up the previous year results.
Okay, thank you. So we're running end of time, and do you have any other comments to add, any of you?
Maybe just one comment about employees. And it's good that we were also saying a few things about this, but I think the most important in the last now weeks, moments before the vaccine is to keep these people motivated and to keep them at work and to do our best to give them the security which they need for them and for their family before the Christmas time and so on, but also to make them strong to come back on the market and to push in the next coming months. I think employees, we should take care about them, and this is important for us, and this is what we are doing.
I definitely agree. Gentlemen, thank you very much all. It was a pleasure meeting you all, and let's hope you're never going to miss this 2020 anymore.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, and stay safe.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Tahsin Bey, please.
Thank you.
Teşekkürler. Thank you to you all, and thanks to Mr. Hakan and all other speakers again. So the Euro, we come to end, but I believe it's a good end, and we achieve really good job here. We achieve really good job for the tourism, and thanks to all technical team and the all background heroes of this event also. So please stay safe and healthy. Çok teşekkür ederim herkese bizlerle birlikte olduğu için. Bence çok güzel bir şeyler başardık burada. Uzakrota olarak, online iş olarak turizmin nabzını yokladık. Turizmcilerin gerçekten hazır olduklarını ve Covid'i sabırsızlıkla bitmesini bekliyoruz. İnşallah hepimiz sağlıklı bir şekilde bu Covid'i de atlatırız. Lütfen sağlıkla kalın, iyi kalın. Görüşmek üzere. Kendinize iyi bakın.